All right, buddy, welcome back to Beans No Ball. Divisional round is here. We got four big games from the final eight to the final four after this weekend's done. Gonna give you all our preview. We pretty much our brackets are still well and alive, so you kind of already know our picks. But let's just break these matchups down. Christian, weight lines up. You get to start us off, so let's just get right into it, today's matchups.
Yeah, first game, the Bills and the Broncos. Now, like we mentioned before, all these matchups are extremely pivotal. A lot of storylines going into this one. Look at this matchup here. We said it already. Josh Allen, this is his window to win it all. You're going against the Broncos team, right? This is a team we've seen their flaws. They've been down in the season about 12 times, coming back late in the game for the victories too. Bo Nix and his inconsistencies, that's one of the bigger issues with the Broncos there too. He can have his flashes. Some games Bo Nix doesn't really do as much as well, has to rely on his defense. And I think with this Broncos defense, that's gonna be the main factor here for Josh Allen is how he's gonna be able to get through this Broncos defense. Because that's gonna be the story of the game here. We saw it, even with Josh Allen, he's down, he can make some magic happen. Same with Bo Nix. But this year with Bo Nix, it happened multiple times this season. You're looking on Josh Allen's side, he can use his legs, he can use his arm. Same with Bo Nix. It's just gonna be a matter of time which quarterback is gonna get through the defense first. And we've seen the Bills defense, it's not looking too great. They held their own against the Jags for the most part, but this is a Broncos team whose offense is very high, and this defense is one of the top ones in the league. So it is going to be a very tough challenge for Josh Allen moving forward.
Yeah, that is the difference for me. I mean, sure, you compare these two defenses, it's the Broncos by a long shot,
Yeah.
but you compare, sure, the Bills defense hasn't played great. We've seen better Bills defenses in years past,
Mhm.
but it's how you looked recently. And in that Jaguars game, they held their own against one of the hottest
Mhm.
quarterbacks to finish the season, 8 wins in a row in Trevor Lawrence. Bo Nix hasn't been hot as of late. I mean, sure, get him into the fourth quarter in a close game or even, chasing the game, maybe he can do something. And that's what it's going to come down to. This game is going to be won in the fourth quarter. It's going to be a close game, but it's really going to come down to can Buffalo carry over that defense? Because for what's with, I do believe that Josh Allen is going to get the better, despite the receivers. He's probably still going to get the better of this Broncos defense. So it's going to come down to can Bo Nix make a stand, and the run game. That's kind of been the main thing too. Expect James Cook to hold it down for his own. Can RJ Harvey do the same for the Broncos? Either way, we're in agreement. We're both still taking the upset with the Bills knocking off the one seed in this one. And we move into our late game for today with, I mean, it's Hitler v. Stalin for me. The Niners against the Seahawks. Honestly, man, I mean, and we could talk about it for any of these games. I
Yeah.
mean, it any road team can win these games. We could get every single road team winning this, and we have three of the
Mhm.
four road teams winning these. But this is
Yeah.
the one where we realistically do have the Seahawks pulling this one out. I mean, me personally, I mean, we saw even still this Niners defense. They've been able to hold it down for the most part, aside from that Bears game, which they still ended up pulling it out. I mean, you see, still hold the Seahawks to 13 points. Your offense only got three for what that's worth, but I mean, this Niners defense has been holding their own for the most part. The Eagles kind of got it going through some points here and there in the first half last week, but that's not going to do too much. I think this is probably going to be the largest margin of victory. And we still, I mean, I had to get into the fact on the other side. I mean, Sam Darnold, it looks like he is tracking to play, but that oblique injury that just came out of nowhere to at the
Yeah,
middle of the
he's they
week.
said they said that he hasn't practiced since that
He
injury,
hasn't
but I mean
practiced
they
since
already
Thursday, but
yeah, but they already
he's
said he's
gotta.
gonna
If
start.
he's
Yeah, they
walking,
already
he's
said he's gonna
playing.
start. Yeah, they already said he's gonna start. So without a doubt, we're gonna see Donald there, but that's definitely gonna be one of the main factors there with Donald is gonna be that oblique injury.
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, apart from that, I mean, no Fred Warner, but he was pushing hard to play in this game. That's the added motivation that if the Niners pull this one out, you do get, and I won't say healthy, but a motivated Fred Warner going into the NFC Championship. But still, I mean, it's just, I mean, we saw, sure, the Niners took them in week one, but this week 18 matchup, we just see, that not that Seahawks defense. It gets the better of Brock Purdy, and it's gonna happen once again. I'm expecting the Seahawks to go ahead and host the NFC Championship.
Yeah, like you mentioned, in week 18, we saw when the defense gets early to Brock Purdy, he's not going to be able to do anything at all. He's going to be stuck. And we saw that the pass rush, he couldn't do anything on that. Brock Purdy's been one of those quarterbacks in recent time where, get to him early. He's not going to get anything going. No magic's going to be done. And that's still going to be the factor here with the Seahawks defense is going to have to be getting to Brock Purdy early. For both teams, really, it's going to be which offense is going to get more consistent because you got Darnold. The oblique injury, that's definitely going to slump him just a bit there too. But we also see with Darnold, the majority of these games against teams above 500, he kind of starts up slow. He's not doing much well as either, and the defense is doing majority of the work. We saw like it was the defense battle 13-3. They held the Niners to 13 points. Niners even still held the Seahawks to 13. So again, it's going to be a second matchup. We're going to see which quarterback is going to be the one to get it going early. But moving on with the once again moving back with the AFC with the Texans and the Patriots. Now this one's gonna be a lot to store here. The Texans defense, that's been one of the main storylines since them starting 0-3, making their way back here. That defense has been the top of the league for a reason. They're able to turn over the ball, they're able to generate pressure. But the offense has been one of the main struggles moving forward, especially with CJ Stroud. And now this too. Nico Collins is going to be out of this game. So this is going to be another chance for Christian Kirk to step it up on the receiving end for CJ Stroud. But at the end of the day, not having Nico Collins is going to be a huge hurt to this. And you're looking at the Patriots defense, they're going to take advantage of that because CJ Stroud, he's a late game guy. He gets it going later in the game. He's not consistent early on. And we saw, I mean, 5 fumbles against the Steelers, and you still ended up winning. I mean, big credit to the defense where it's due. And on the Patriots side, Drake May, again, they're one of these guys, they're going to have to get going early. We're seeing a trend here with quarterbacks going against one of these top defenses. One of these guys are going to have to stay consistent. And you're looking on the Patriots side, I believe Gonzo, he also had the
He's
concussion
playing.
protocol. He will be playing. So that's already been a huge advantage for the Patriots. So I would expect them to be lined up on Christian Kirk majority of snaps because that really is going to be a difference there as well. But even on the ground game with Woody Marks, he's been making a name for himself. We saw he had a great game against the Steelers. So they're probably going to rely heavy on the run game, whether or not CJ Stroud could get it done. But honestly, this game, like we said, most of these road teams, the Texans, they have a great chance of being the Patriots. I mean, we already got the pick there. I have the Texans winning on this one. The bracket set in stone. But again, this is going to be probably the toughest matchup for Drake May so far as going against this really number one defense.
Yeah, absolutely. You look at, I mean, just playing some. I mean, forget just number one defense. I mean, statistically speaking, it's a historic defense. It's one of the
Yeah.
great. I mean, they outscored the Steelers, and mind you, it's just the Steelers, but they outscored the Steelers 12-6 alone in
Yeah.
last week's game. It like you're saying, and like we've been saying it ever since the Texans started going on this run. It's just gonna come down to CJ Stroud because if you get even half of what he was in his rookie year, they're winning this game. And either way, this
Mhm.
is gonna be, in my eyes, the closest matchup of all of these in the wild card and in the divisional round. You're getting, I mean, it's just, Kendrick may carry this over. We saw, I mean, sure, you won it. It was pretty much a blowout against the Chargers, but I mean, you didn't play that great. This is going to be that matchup that he's really going to have that. I mean, MVP votes are in, but he needs to have that
Yep.
MVP stamp to move this to move this team into. If they win this, in our eyes, it will be a home AFC Championship back in Foxborough. For what it's worth, I'm expecting the Houston defense. Like you said, we're in agreement. This is a historic defense for a reason. They're gonna show that Drake May just wasn't as good as Matthew Stafford this season, and they're gonna go on to their first AFC championship. And going into Matthew Stafford, it's the Rams and the Bears in the frozen tundra of Soldier Field. We're expecting below 10 degrees at kickoff. We know the story with the Rams. They struggle in cold weather. That's been the narrative. And sure, you take it back to the divisional round last year against Philly. Might we forget that was a very close game? Sure, Philly got onto that lead, but it came down to if it wasn't for a false start and a just slightly mistimed throw on fourth down, the Rams would have been the ones going on that Super Bowl run. But that's last year. This is this year. The main thing that you got to look into this game, arguably, I think the biggest factor on that Bears defense, it's gonna be Tremaine Edmonds being done for the season. He was a leader and an anchor in that second, well, not second, he's a linebacker, but he goes both ways. Losing that, it's gonna be huge. And obviously, we know the run game is gonna be critical. Not a lot of pass game is gonna be here. Well, Matthew Stafford does have that ability, and we've seen Caleb do it as well. So sure, there's going to be the moments in the pass game, but you're going to be run heavy. So it's going to be between DeAndre Swift and Manungai and Blake Corum and Kyron Williams. Whichever of that duo gets it going the most, it's going to be the one to end up taking it through. Now, of course, I'm sure you kept that as well. I mean, I'm taking the Rams still. I don't think the Colts going to get that much of the better. I think for we say we say experience sometimes matters, sometimes doesn't. I think in a game like this, I mean, say the Rams struggle. Matthew Stafford spent years in the NFC North. He knows the cold weather. He knows Soldier Field like anything. So I mean, this is gonna be one of those games. He's gonna assert it. And like I said, votes are in, but he's gonna show why he's the MVP.
Yeah, we're mentioning the cold weather here. I mean, let alone Bears having the home field advantage, but the cold weather, obviously, that's another big step, especially for a West Coast team. But you made a great point that Stafford. I mean, he did spend a majority of his career in the NFC North, so he is he is gonna have a slight advantage with the cold as well there too. But it might just be him. But you got the other guys there too. They might not be as well there too. So it's gonna be Matthew Stafford. Yeah, he's gonna
Not
be
to
the
mention,
main benefactor
you're
here.
getting your main offensive line back in Kevin Dotson in this game. He's been out since that Seahawks game. That's also gonna be huge for his protection.
Exactly. So on the Bears side, they're going to need to take as much advantage as they can of the Colts as well, but specifically Caleb Williams. We saw in the Packers game. I mean, the aggression. We love the aggressiveness on fourth down right there too. We love the aggressiveness with Ben Johnson, but also with Caleb Williams play. We saw there's that huge being down late in the get to two and having that late fourth quarter comebacks. You can't have it against this Rams team at all whatsoever. You got away with it against the Packers, but this is a Rams team that's very
And
good
sure,
on
not to
both sides
interject
of the
too, but you
ball.
got
Cannot
the
have that.
one storyline about the Rams, and we seen in the Eagles game, we saw it in the Seahawks game. They do blow leads too, so we got to look at
Yeah.
that. But it's all going to come down to the third quarter. That's my main thing. Sure, I'm expecting the Rams to go out to a decent lead, but it's been games. Even in the Panthers game last week, and both Panthers
hmm
games, they have a really slow third quarter that lets teams get back into it. If you can keep the foot on the gas in the third, easily expect the Rams to keep it going and close it out in the fourth.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that. Like I mean, like we said, as for picks, nothing,
That's a
nothing,
crazy
nothing major.
sandstone.
We already,
Sandstone.
we went for 6 for 6 in the wild card. Let's hope for 4 for 4 in the divisional, and then it really gets interesting with our swap championship games. But yeah, that just about does it. Thank you guys for tuning in for this quick one right as the games kick off, and we'll see you back. Let's see how these picks go and wrap all these games up Monday morning.